Hi, welcome to Module 8, Gender and Moral Development. So we start out this one with, in my opinion, what one of the most interesting and controversial topics are, which is what makes a boy and a girl, and are these labels even relevant anymore? We look at the definitions of what gender identity is all about, and then different theories of how gender identity becomes formed. So then we move into the different influences, looking at what the biological impact is, what the social influences are, as well as the cognitive component. Um, Notice in the video or in the modules, I have a video showing kids showing very rigid gender stereotypes. So we might argue, oh, those are coming from completely sexist messages from our society. But another view of that is that they're just trying to accumulate ideas of gender development the same way they do any other idea and forming a cognitive schema. So if you think back to Piaget's work and how kids move from a concrete operational to a formal operational stage, the same thing goes for how they learn to identify themselves and interact in the world. So then we move on to looking at different stereotypes in particular and similarities and differences. So, again, very controversial about what the research has shown. Are boys better at math and girls are better at relationships or whatever it is? So, take a look at what the evidence does show, because whether we like it or not, there are gender differences in some areas, albeit they are fairly small, and there are more differences among genders than between. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. Okay, and then we move into moral development. So this was looking at, again, a cognitive model of how we learn to evaluate moral situations and judgments. So the key person in all that is Lawrence Kohlberg, and he presented a series of dilemmas. So keep in mind I put in the module a couple of the other dilemmas, and think about how you would answer those, as well as how a child would answer them at different stages, and also be aware of the criticisms of this model. So an assumption is that he has established what the highest level of development or a moral reasoning even is, where other people might look at that and say, well, no, he didn't include a social component at all in his moral reasoning, or it's based entirely on studies of men. And we do, back to the gender, think a little bit differently about situations between men and women. So, as you have all that in mind, I hope you will enjoy some of the links I've put in the modules to other ideas and videos to help illustrate some of these concepts. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time.